Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Now in the theme of builds we haven't seen for some time, today I'm going to be doing the next 5 stages of the fan home release, a build to Star Wars Millennium Falcon.
To make 0.5 past light speed, it may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid.
So today we're doing stages 42 to 46, and right at the end of stage 46, look, we're going to have pretty much the bottom section completed. So that's going to be fun. Lots of little tiny things to do. We do have to do another recess, which if you remember, this was the one I did here, which means I'm going to build it on camera, but I'll paint it off camera. I've already painted this one on camera, but this is one of the recesses here. Looking at it now, I'm really happy with how this turns out, but it looks too dry. It needs to have like a wet look sort of thing. So I might put a little bit of gloss around there to mimic oil, but I'm pretty happy with how that's turned out. Now, I don't know if this is available. You will have to check the video description or the QR code on the screen to see if it's available in your territory. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So here is stage 42. And again, each stage does come with its own magazine, as you can see here. And we have got the recess. That's exactly what I was talking about there. So we're actually going to be building this up. Need to have your glue handy here. I just use a CA glue, just so you know. This one is from the range called Glue It. And it's just telling you how to paint this up and do what you want with it there. So let's do this. So here we go. This is stage 42. So this is everything we get in that pack. And as you see, we've got a thread cutting tap here. Now we're to use this on the metal frame when we start to put all the panels in. So hopefully we're not going to need it. But I'll keep that to one side. Bring over the recess here, and we're going to start cutting some parts off. So here's the sprue. First one I need is this big one here. Now this one is going through the hole in the side there, just like that. So best way to put glue on this one is just into the recess areas on this. So here, here, and the other side there, and get that in. Now what I'm going to do is show you the part, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's installed. So this one here first, it's going into the wall just there. Then this pipe here goes just there. This part here goes just here. And then this part bridges these two sections here, like that. Then these two here, which looks like scuba tanks, that's going next to it. And then detail 7 has got 4 pins on it, so I need to glue all 4 of these. We'll be going into these holes here. And there we go, that's how that looks. And then finally the last pipe here is going into the last 2 holes that we have left, just like that. And that's that recess done. Now what I'll do is I'll quickly just put a matte black coat over the top of that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. I'm going to let that dry, and in the next stage we'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. So stage 43, here is the magazine. And as you can see, we've got this detail here with some sprues to put on and some screws. I'm just going to be putting all 3 of these plates together by the look of it. Interesting, we're putting plates on the bottom of all 3 of these sections here. So that's that stage. So I'm just laying out parts here for stage 43, and they look like this. So we get this one with this stage. This middle one here came with stage 35. This one here came with stage 36. And these plates, which are going to go in here, which I'm just going to leave on top at the moment, came in stage 41. And in this stage, we do have one that's going to be going in this side over here. Now, in stage 41, we did get these metal pins. And if you've seen, I've started to put them into the recesses here. I just need to continue doing that for all of these. So it's just a case of putting glue down the shaft. This is why having a brush on glue is really good for this. And inserting the pins in here. Now just looking at all the bits that I got in this stage, I am missing, I do have the screws in this stage, but I'm missing the 2 pins. Checking there's none in there. That are meant to go in this one here, so I can't put them in, which is a pain. So what I'm going to have to do is source them afterwards. But what we are going to do is on these panels here, we're going to be putting magnets in place for that. Obviously there's two here which I can't put magnets in because I don't have them, but not a big deal. Drop some glue in here. Do need a fair bit. You do want to make sure this is completely dry before you attempt to put this on here, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. If I was to do that now, it doesn't matter about the polarity, by the way, but if I was to do that now, there's a chance that the glue that I've just used for these magnets will end up gluing this part into place. But we just do this. So they're in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all of those parts now to one side. I don't want to put them together yet until that's dried. All the other bits that we have, we can just keep to one side because that's the end of that stage. So in stage 44, here's the magazine. Looking like this. And we're now going to be creating details for the turret here, putting that together. And then putting this into the top section here. So that's looking like that. So I do have this sprue here. Let's get this open. And these details are going to be going on this part just here. So once again, what I'll do is I'll cut the details off and then I'll show you where they go. So first one I want is this one here. That's into the top there. Detail 2 goes next to it. Detail 3 goes on the next holes down here like that. Detail 4 goes on the next one down there. Then detail 5 here going into the 2 holes here. Detail 6 going just below it down the bottom here. Detail 7 goes into this hole at the bottom. And then finally detail 8, which is this one here. I'm leaving one sprue on here just so you know, we don't use that in this stage. Is going onto this recess just here. So that looks like that. Now we're going to do the gun controls, put that to one side. And then we need this turret from stage 41. We're just going to do a quick test bit on that. And obviously this stage, which came in issue 2. And the test bit is that it's going to be going into the top here. Now there is a notch just here. So that would fit in there like that. Now the reason why I'm showing you that now is because we're going to be building another one of these. So I'm going to use this as the guide for this. Because they're not going to provide the instructions for you. So what we need to do is create this part. So once again, take the platform off. I'm going to assemble the seat first. Just let that stick into place. I'm going to be gluing the seats onto this platform here. I want to take out this bracket that go behind the seats. Install this into just the holes at the back there. So that looks like that. Put the control column we're going to start building now. And the, is it the yoke? I don't know. The control, I'm going to put that one in next, I think. So a bit of glue on that. We have done this before, so if you do want to see this in detail, then you'll be able to see this in the stage that I created it. This section here behind, and that section. That tiny detail just at the front there. And then we just got some pedals to put on. There we go. On the bottom of this, I'm putting this detail here. I'm just going to let that dry while I just create the inside walls. I've got those stickers for this. So they're going to go on each half, just at this section and this section here, not the bottom section. Then I can piece these two parts together, bit of glue. Before you let that stick, you want to put the light in it, which is going to go down here, just like that, and then hold that together. That's good. Now the last thing we'd do is we're going to be putting this section, there is a notch on this way around, into the top there. I'm not going to put the seat in until that's fully dry, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 45. Here's the instructions. And we've got some large pieces here again to put in. By the look of it, we're doing another detail, just like we did last time, creating this box here. So that looks like that. It's a big detail, this one. Get all these parts out. We don't need this whole plating at the moment. We do need these little parts. And I'm going to build onto this. So once again, I'll show you the passes I'm cutting off of this sprue and where they go. Now this is very similar, if not exactly the same, as the one we just did. But I will show you where I'm putting all of these parts. And I basically brought that part over here to help me out to where these actually go. So basically I'm doing exactly the same thing, but just in reverse of this one here. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is just cut to this all completed. Once again, we do have a part on here which we don't need at the moment, so keep that safe. Just putting the last part in here. This last detail is the only difference really, which goes in like that. But now I'm going to be working on the housing here. So cut one of these sections off first. It's going into this semicircular hole here. Then I need this detail on the sprue here. That goes there. This top detail here just goes on the other side here, just mirroring what we did. And again, this part underneath is now in like that. So both of those are mirrored. Okay, this detail here is just going to go on this front section here, and that is all there is to do in that stage. We do have parts left on this sprue, as you can see here. So this is where it's all coming together for the bottom here. So I've got this laid out here. I'm going to get all the plates out. Let me show you the instructions, because this is the magazine. Showing you what we get in this stage. I don't think we use those parts. What we're going to be doing is putting all of these plates in, and all of them go in with these silver screws here. We've got hundreds of these we've been collecting through the build. So it's going to show us what order to put these in, and we need to put them in the order of the magazine, otherwise they're not going to overlap properly. But this is how it's going to look at the end. So we are going to have 4 bolts which are provided in issue 54. Now if you want to put them on the front and then turn it over, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to be putting them in from the back. Now all of the parts are labelled. So this is BPO1. This is the first one that I need. And this is going to be going in here. What you want to do is make sure that the lugs here are going through the frame, as you can see, just like this. You really want to clip it in. Make sure each one is through. If it isn't, you're going to have a bad time. There we go. And I'm screwing them in with the flange screws. So the way I think I'm going to film this is I'm going to put the bit in and just assume I've screwed it in. Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing. Now I need panel BP10 looking like this. If I move this down here, that's going to go on this side just over here. I'm going to line up the lugs again and make sure these are pushed through. You are listening for that crack, otherwise they're not going to sit in properly. You also don't want to over tighten these, just tight enough to hold that into place, otherwise you will round the threads. Now on this one we've got a lug here which protrudes. We don't actually put anything in that one. I now need panel BP09. Now you see I've got a lip on here. That's why we're putting this one in next, because this is going to go next to it, but that lip is going to go over the panel that we've just put in here. Once again, make sure this is all the way in here, like this. And then screw that one down. Then I need panel BP11. Now BP11, look where the lips are on this one. So we've got a lip on this side and this side. So it's going to go on top of between these pieces here. Just like this. And once again, I'm just snapping in the parts that I can. That looks good. Hold this one in. Now panel BP12 is going to go into this section here. Again, look, the lip on this side and the lip on that side. So that's going over the top of these two. Now on this one, remember, we've got 3 projecting holes here that we don't put screws in. Now what is going to go on top of those is the recess that I painted earlier. But obviously I want to touch this up before I fit this, but this is going to be going on here like that. Won't put that in yet though. Okay, now I need panel BP08. Again, look, we've got the lip on this side. That's going to be going into the panel just here, next to BP09. Okay, then I've got panel BP07. Now this time, you see the lips on this side. So again, this can go on top of these parts all the way around. That's going in the middle here. I'm finding doing this strangely relaxing. Then panel BP06. That's going over the top. Again, the lips on this side next to this panel. Then I've got panel BP4. Again, lip on this side going next to this panel. And then once again on this panel here we have got a part which is coming through. We don't put anything on that. That's for the recess on this side. Then I want BP05, which as you can see on the top here goes here. So let's get this in from underneath. Now, because I've done this before, I know that these panels are overlapped each other perfectly. If you are worried though, check each side. Because if you do, say, don't get a piece in properly here, you're going to have to take the whole thing apart to correct that. But I can see just from how well they're linking together on this side that it's going to be fine on the other side. I'll save that for the unveiling in a second. Then I've got panel BPO3, which is going to go into this remaining section here. Again, the lips are on this side and this side, so it's just fitting above the plates to either side of this. And screw this down. Once again, we do have raised lugs here for that recess on this side. So there you go, that's half of that completed. And once again, the one that I did paint, I can put into place now because I don't aim on changing that. So that can go in there just like that. But they don't want me to screw that in yet, so I won't put that in. I'll tease you later on with that. Okay, now, panel BP25. I'm going to keep turning this around, so I'm working on the same section, but we're going to this side now. Again, the lips on this side. BP26 is going to go into this area just here. Then BP24 is going to go just into this area here. Then BP22 is going to go between these sections here. Okay, BP19 is going to be going into this section here. Now with BP21, it's going to go into the section here. The lip is on the inside here, so we want to put it in at an angle so this can go over and under, if that makes sense. Getting that in there and push that in. That one was quite a hard one to get in because you did have a difference in the lip here. Then BP19, this one here, is going to go next to that. BP17, which I've got here, is going to go next between these two. Then BP20 is going to go into this bit here. So we've got this open section here that's left at the moment. Okay, turning this around, on this section here, we're going to be taking this section, BP23. That's going to be going into this section just here. And again, pushing this all the way through and holding them into place, which is going to go next to it into this position here. And then finally, BP16 is just going next to that here. And then the last two bits to put in, BP14 now, can go in next. Which means the last panel to put in is BP15. Let's get that lead out of the way. Which goes here. And with that in, that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in those packs. I'm just looking around to make sure I haven't missed any holes. I think we're good. And I haven't looked at this yet from the other side, so blind optimism. Okay, the recording time so far for this is 2 hours 5 minutes, but I know it's going to be fine. There you go. It's looking good, isn't it? Oh, it's big. That is how big the base of the Millennium Falcon is. So that was quite good. Obviously, the edited version of this doesn't show the pain I went through, and we still got to put these recesses in here. And as promised to you, that was the one there, which I'm going to just give it a wash so it's looking like that. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.